Hello, I'm John, the executive producer here at Final Show Films. I got a few notes for you before the show. First, I want to thank you all for watching. We couldn't do what we do or the amount of things that we do without the support of you, the viewer. If you want to support us financially, which we always appreciate, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, where you can donate as little as $1 a month to help us continue this and all the things that we do. I want to give a special shout out to our $25 supporters, Antitonic, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. Second, I want to let you all know that we here at Final Show Films are planning a little get-together up at Gen Con this year. That's August 2nd through 5th up at Indianapolis. We're going to be up there just sort of hanging out, enjoying the con, spending time together, and if any of you guys want to come up and say hi, please feel free. We don't bite unless you want us to. And if you enjoy whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to, be sure to check out our website at finalshowfilms.com, where you can find links to all of our other content, both podcast and video. And be sure to follow me at John A. Bates on Twitter for more updates on all of the content we're creating in the future. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. And we're live!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Star Wars, where I realized halfway through that if I sit all the way up, you guys can't see the top half of my face. So I'm just gonna slouch for a little bit till I fix that. So welcome back to Star Wars Afterlight Skies. I am Aaron, I am the GM. This is an Edge of the Empire game, which is one of the Fantasy Flight Star Wars games. And we're going to start with Jack.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jack. I'm playing the R3 series Astromech Droid Rerun. So, bippy kai boop, motherfuckers. And I am going to roll Destiny. Do. That is one dark side.
Okay. Cody?
I'm Cody. I'm playing Praz, the Zabrak Commando. And I will also roll Destiny. 1 second. Too dark.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. And Jack. Wait, Jack just went.
Yep.
Fuck. Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Corey Tane, the human outlaw tech who is not good with trying to talk with her family. And
Oh, that's underselling it.
Nice.
2 light side.
it might just be me, but I'm the only person seeing 7 dark side and 4 light side right now.
No, we didn't.
Yeah,
we
I
didn't
need
clear
to
the pool
fix
before
the
we rolled.
pool.
The pool,
Okay.
the pool wasn't cleared. I'm keeping track of it, and I'll give the final total to Aaron. So Aaron.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Sorry, I wasn't paying
Yeah.
attention.
Sorry. Yes, there's a reason this entire intro has been completely botched and out of order. I am using a different prompter software today. Cat.
Hello, I am Kat. I am playing Powder, the surgical droid with issues. Let's see what we get. Ooh, I got us a dark side.
Issues spelled with 3 Z's.
Yup.
Uh,
And a Q, just because.
all right, Spencer.
I am Spencer. I am playing Siolo, the ambassador to the Rebellion Twi'lek, trying to figure out what he is currently doing. And roll Destiny. 1 dark side.
Okay, cool. That makes the totals 2 light side points and 5 dark side points.
I haven't gone yet.
Oh, sorry, John.
It's okay.
Okay, I do want to say something though. You're us screwing this up. That's assuming these ever run well.
That's true, but this one has been particularly bad by my personal internal standards.
I'm John. I'm playing Ares Hartinos, a Mandalorian mercenary soldier who's still looking for a bloke to kill. And I rolled 2 more dark side, which makes the final total 2 light, 7 dark.
Oh boy, we win.
This is gonna end well.
Forced player update. Forced player update.
Yes.
All right. With 2 light side points and 7 dark side points.
I like that I will
RC.
see light in the darkness. Sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, Corey is one of the less violent of the characters, I guess.
Uh-huh.
So, speaking of violent and not necessarily violent people, when we last left this band of rogues who theoretically might be being recruited by the rebellion by one of their desperate members, theoretically maybe a murder operation by a different desperate member, he wandered around Corvella, a city on Corellia, trying to get hints as to a few different things, and further their search for Chinguska, a dog of particular interest to Rerun. By interest, I mean vengeance upon is needed. Sorry. The group also tried to pursue who may have sold some Mandalorian armor that previously belonged to someone. And of importance to Ares, which also means wants to murder. And a family member of Corey, who Corey has interest in, but does not want to murder. It's an important distinction. After some conversations held below open windows and in looking around a few marketplaces, most of the party ended up watching some live swoop bike race in a bar. And I believe that we left off with a few people wanting to have conversations in that bar.
I thought the conversation had been finished.
There might be.
I don't know. I was in the ship,
Oh.
so
I do. There was one thing Sai wanted to say to Corey at the very end, but it was more of a one-off than like continuing the conversation. But that's all I can remember, at least from my end.
So, to my recollection, I'm sure someone who's watching this on video is going, "No, I was watching this 5 minutes ago. You're wrong." To my recollection, there was basically all of you ended up at the bar, but due to various people needing to step away and stuff, there was some conversations that ended up dropped. But, yeah. Sai and Corey had a quick conversation about asking questions and being polite, and yeah. You're all in the bar. If I'm wrong about there being other things you want, sorry.
No, that's fine.
So I walk back in from having stepped out to speak with the Lady Tane and to give her our contact details so that if she does find anything, she can actually relay that information back. Right, so we about ready to head back to the ship?
Yeah, I think we're
What
just still
did you
following the
do?
trail.
Yeah, where'd you go?
I went back up to the Lady Tane's place and gave her contact information, the thing that everyone that was in the room forgot to give her.
I figured she's related to Corey. She'll figure it out. It's not like we're hard
What?
to find.
Ain't that the truth?
Aren't we trying to be hard to find?
Yes,
Yeah.
but for someone who's trying to find information for us, it would be good for them to be able to get that information to us.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Is you said we were not hard to find, but
Well, she knows we're here.
yeah, but
We're-
okay, she's not a well, I don't know a lot about. Never mind.
That is actually a decent question. We seem to not know a lot about her. Is it wise to give her our contact info?
Yes. Unless you
No,
want
no,
her to
it's
just
fine.
send
It's
any
fine.
information that she finds to the void.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we don't know much about her. She could use that to send the Empire our way or whoever's chasing y'all.
The Empire isn't the people chasing us.
Yeah.
The Empire was chasing the ship, not us.
I mean, okay, man.
Well, all right. Just throwing it out there.
It's fine. Fine.
If someone wants to come knocking on the door and having a party, I haven't killed someone in a month. Aside from that, let's go.
I mean, don't kill just anybody who comes knocking up to the door. I feel like that would be bad.
Well, no. They have to be looking for a very specific party for that.
All right, let's leave. As I pay for the endless cheese sticks, I think is what I ordered while we were watching the swoop
Yeah.
races. I think it was endless cheese sticks. I can't remember.
Jack, you're muted.
Corey and I need to go do diagnostics on Powder anyway.
Head back to the ship.
Yes. Yeah, there's that. There, yeah.
Oh,
Because we're going to have visitors.
yeah, because that's right. We have to prepare for that whole shenanigans.
Debacle.
Corey, as we make our way, I kind of just tap Corey on the shoulder and just say, I know the stuff with Powder definitely is going to take precedent. So just whenever that's done, if you have a free moment, I would like to get your opinion, expertise on something, but it's not a rush. Just take care of Powder and then come grab me just whenever you've got 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, sure thing, dude.
Cool.
All right. So, everyone heading back to the ship?
CC.
Uh-huh.
You all arrive back at the ship. It's probably late afternoon, early evening at this point. Powder is still going through the process of getting a goddamn rest.
Yep.
And, yep, from that, is there anything else you guys are gonna do right now, or are we transitioning to the next day?
I think we were going to
Right.
transition to wait so Powder could wake up and that way y'all could run
Yeah.
y'all stuff. So that's just transition.
All right.
Unless we want to try to make Cat not be able to play again. I'm totally cool with that trying to pull that off also.
We extend
No,
the day
I
another
know
48
these
hours.
People, we can take like
You know,
a
I
conversation
yeah.
and make that.
It would totally happen if you wanted to.
So, yeah. Eventually, you guys. Oh,
No,
John, were
I was
you-
saying we go to sleep.
eventually, you all make it to sleep. Corey,
Yep.
during the night, you have some trouble sleeping. The temperature's wrong. Something's off. You're sort of looking around like the noises of the ship are comforting, of course, but occasionally there's something where you're not quite sure what it is, and in your half asleep brain you're like, I need to make sure that it is the thing it probably is. I should fix it if it's not. And just that sort of nagging pressure on the back of your mind makes you pretty tired. And on top of that, you're sort of running over in your head a bit the conversations of the day. You are down at 2 strain. Everyone else is down 1 for obligation.
Cool.
This technically is your family obligation.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Okay. So, unless we are somehow making this episode about...
Nope.
Okay. Everyone, including Powder, wakes up in the morning.
Yay!
Powder gotten the benefit of going to fucking sleep, which you really needed.
So all of my strain is gone?
I believe so.
All but one.
All but one.
Yeah, all but the one that is technically a reduction of your cap, which just works less well digitally than it does with physical character sheets and markers.
Yerp.
Yerp.
Much better. Powder stretches a little. Oil the joints, you know.
I believe... Actually, no, I'm not going to lead things. Anyone have things that they would like to do?
Well, now that I'm awake and not, feeling all that strain, because I don't know what's going on with the rest of them, I would like to try and do a diagnostic on the 10 hairs that I have left. See what information I can find.
You do have the message that Rerun sent to you, like in your queued inbox.
Right, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Jack, do you remember what you told Powder specifically?
Yes, I told Powder specifically, we have the obligation to get Hondo and Alvad in a negotiation. Alvad is willing to come to the table as long as we can prove to his satisfaction that Powder has no involvement with nor intent to pursue the biosample that she stole, and that it has all been returned. So we will have to do a diagnostic sort of interrogation with the whole droid. You can actually tell whether they're telling the truth or not by system diagnostics. And we are going to come back, and he will be sending a technician who is definitely knowledgeable to verify our results. So we need to get that taken care of ASAP.
Okay, then she'll listen to that message, or they'll listen to that message and not do that, because yes. Okay. Yes, I'd forgotten about that. Thank you for the reminder of that.
No problem.
Then yes, they will absolutely not do that, because that would be counterproductive.
So you're gonna make me have to kill Alphot.
Well, I don't make you do nothing. Okay, then Powder will just take the 10 hairs sample and I don't know, box it up or put it in a vial or something so that it's not on their person.
You just put it in the science lab with all of the other random science things that you use, but no one else really does.
Yeah, and I will label it with something that is completely innocuous. And put it in the back of a cabinet someplace.
Easy enough. You're the ship's medic. You have pretty full access to those areas.
Yeah. It's just labeled not hairs of criminals.
No, it's probably labeled with Corey's name. Just because Corey's the only human on board.
I mean, that would be great because then Corey finds it and somebody's like, "Why are you keeping my hairs?"
Yeah, it'll have like Corey's name and like a series of like numbers and letters and whatever, and it'll be just in a cabinet behind like taller things.
Anyway,
Cool. Note to self: if Corey ever ransacks the ship, so yeah, yeah, you put that away pretty far away. And presumably you guys have breakfast, you go through your morning. I believe there was some intent to do the diagnostic on powder preemptively to make sure that nothing went wrong.
yarp.
Yep. So yeah, Rerun will grab Rainbow and Corey.
All right.
Hey,
So we need to make sure that they are going to pass this test. And I think he explained to Rainbow what had been going on when he and Rainbow and Glass went out the other day. So Rainbow should be up to date on the powder situation. So I think the three of us working together should be able to do at least a pretty decent test run. And we'll figure things out from there.
sounds like a plan.
Okay, let's go see if Powder is amenable to this whole fucking festivity.
Shit show. Shit
Yes.
show seems like the right choice of words.
Yes. Yes, that's fairly yes. Effluent lubricant. Gotta love it. Okay. And we'll go find Powder.
Powder, are you findable?
Powder is in the med bay.
Okay, yep. Powder is findable.
Yep.
Hey, you.
Good morning.
So, did you get my message from yesterday at all?
I did.
Excellent. So you know what's happening.
I believe so.
We were thinking, assuming that you're okay with this whole shit show. Looks at Corey, nod.
Yes.
We were thinking of maybe doing a preemptive test run, just to make sure that if things go sideways, it doesn't happen in front of the person we're trying to convince.
That would be preferable.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I was concerned because the old memory wipe. There's stuff in there. We want to make sure that none of that stuff comes up in a problematic way, basically.
Right, because we need to convince this individual of our trustworthiness without memory wiping you, because that would be dumb and inappropriate and unpleasant
and is
and
not
unnecessary.
going to happen, and we will shoot him if it comes to that.
Yes, and just so you're aware, Powder, yes, if this whole thing doesn't work out, we'll have probably Ares and Praz on standby with stun guns somewhere, and we'll just knock the guy out and drag him down and sit him probably in cuffs. Yeah, probably in binders in front of Hondo and say, here, we found him, talk.
Wonderful.
So just so you know, you're
Put him
not
in binders. Romney's women.
You're not painted into any sort of corner. That was supposed to be corner.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So
Then let us do this.
okay. And Rerun's gonna start hooking up cables.
Yep.
And scanners and data pads and readouts.
Yep. Powder, are you trying to alter, deceive, mess with the potential results?
No.
Okay. Rerun. Make me a computer's roll with difficulty of 2 And a setback die just for...
Okay.
I will
You are
assist
still
on
trying
this.
to access a sentient, like, truth detect. You're trying to truth detect a sentient. It's not.
How many ranks of computer does Corey have?
Corey has hold on, I have to find the tab that Roll20 is in. Corey has all the skills. No, Corey has 3 ranks in computers, 3 yellow, 1 green.
I have 3.
How about Rerun offers unskilled, well, less skilled, not unskilled, but less skilled assistance and has Corey do the computer's check then?
Okay.
Yeah, same.
I was gonna say I have 3.
Unless
ranks
you
in
have the
computer.
thing that stops encryption, there's a setback die. For
Nope. Okay.
standard.
So
And you
you'll
said
get
it's
a
diff
you'll get a
3?
boost die. You'll get a
Div 2 and 1 setback.
plus
And
a boost die
for
from
the
Rerun.
assist.
Yeah.
Boost for the assist, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Really?
man.
Really?
Wow.
Okay, so you get all the cables hooked up and you're pretty sure everything's in the right place. For what is hopefully fairly obvious reasons, you haven't actually done this before.
The cables are hooked up wrong.
But
Oh
you've
shit!
got
These
to
are the
read
memory
out.
white cables. Fuck.
You've got to read out.
Powder is
Essentially,
drooling.
you've
Start
got
all
I'm
to...
over.
not sure how Powder got drool, but Powder is drooling.
It's motor oil.
No,
Sorry.
it's... Nothing seems to be wrong. You just have everything hooked up. You've essentially got your polygraph up.
Yep.
What do
Rerun
you
will
intend
take Rerun will take interrogator position if that's okay.
All you.
Please state your name for the record.
2-1B powder.
Lie.
Lie. Okay,
That is what the readout says.
that's what the readout says. What do we have, Corey?
Is that really your name? I mean,
As
you have
far
another
as
name.
I am
too?
aware.
Huh? Maybe
Worst
it's,
interrogation ever.
maybe you used to be. Maybe it's recognizing what you're saying.
Me.
We'll do it.
Go
We'll do
try
it.
again.
We'll do it.
Try again.
Powder, I
Control.
want you to
Control
make me a
question.
difficulty
Control
1
question.
computers roll
We'll do
because
it.
you're the one who might actually know this.
Okay. Difficulty 1.
State my designation for the record.
Difficulty 1 computer. 4 successes.
Okay, so Powder, you were asked a question, then we'll get to that.
Okay. What did you ask? Your designation?
State my designation for the record.
R3RN rerun.
Lie.
Better?
How do you define better?
So, Powder, what you would know is typically you're not sure how you know this, but you definitely know it. Typically, interrogations involving polygraphs or the droid equivalent of polygraphs that tend to be much more accurate start with a few questions to which the answers are fairly known to, 1, establish a baseline, and 2, determine that the system is working on questions where the variables aren't as confusing. Whether or not you share that information or find it relevant in this context, Corey was saying something.
Define better.
That should have showed up as true.
Yeah, this is the opposite of better.
What the fuck? I'm gonna recheck the
Did
connections.
you do these?
Computers difficulty
so-
2, 1 setback. Yeah.
Okay. 2 successes.
You know, I bet it's this fucking. I bet you it's a broken fucking program. I bet you all the weird fucked up hacks that have been done over the years.
So you know those like cables that computers and other things have where there's like 5 different color-coded colors that you have to plug into the right color thing.
Yeah.
And you can technically use the wrong cables for different ones as long as you match up the colors on the input and
Right,
output.
as long as you can put the blue one in the red port, as long as you put the blue one in the red port on the other end too.
Yeah. So it seems like you put one of essentially you messed that up. So rerun, you just
Fucking
go in there
shitbag ass
with
bitch.
your little arm to rearrange those.
All
But
right,
you've
let's try
learned
this
an
again.
important lesson about how polygraphs work.
Let's try this again.
May I suggest starting with asking your designation? Just to be safe.
We'll start with that sort of thing first. Who's in the room right now?
Other than Corey and Rerun and Powder, I don't believe
no
anyone
one else, right?
Okay.
On
no,
Rainbow's wandered off.
Oh.
Rainbow.
Right, yes, you brought Rainbow along. Rainbow is there. Rainbow is sort of examining one of the walls. Powder,
Okay.
nowhere near where you put the thing, just like one of the walls in the med bay.
Okay.
No, what's her name?
Glass.
Glass?
Yeah, Glass.
I think we gave
Glass
Glass
isn't
an actual
here.
room.
Okay. Okay,
You would have
cool.
noticed that in the morning. She was
Just
noticed.
wanted to make sure.
All right. Some baseline questions then. Take 2 on Powder interrogation. Rerun's recording all this, by the way.
Nice.
Fair enough.
How many droids are in this room?
3.
Looks at Corey.
True.
How many
Thumbs
organics are in this room?
1.
I'm going to assume thumbs up.
Okay. Please state your name or designation for the record.
2-1B powder.
False.
Fuck nuggets.
That one came back false?
Yes.
Okay. We can chalk that up to potential programming glitch since memory sectors have been known on Powder to be corrupted. Please state my designation for the record.
R3RN rerun.
True.
That one's good?
Yep.
Good. Okay. Moving into slightly more abstract territory then. Powder, within the last 72 hours, did you collect any biological samples from members who are not crew of this ship?
Out of character. Was that within the past 72 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
We're good.
Okay.
I'm assuming.
Have you performed any analysis on these biosamples?
No.
False.
Says maybe it's glitching, but it says false.
Okay. Do me a favor for testing purposes. Give me a false answer to this next question, Powder. Do you still have those any remnants of those biosamples on board this ship?
No.
Wait. Aha! You made it hard for me, Jack. False.
False.
Same question. Answer truthfully this time, please.
Yes.
True.
True. Wait, what?
Dun, dun, dun.
Just for confirmation, because apparently I'm confusing our technician and the more omnipotent powers that rule us all. You currently have some element of the aforementioned biosamples within your possession or control on board the Nasari.
Yes.
True.
Okay, I'm glad you didn't mention that until now, because that would have made it really awkward when we told him you handed everything over. That
As a
said,
reminder, because it has been 2 weeks, Powder did previously tell you that she had given you everything.
yes,
Oh yeah, Powder absolutely said they give you everything. So
yes. That said,
Okay. Well, Powder, interrogation slightly on hiatus. We do need to destroy those before anything. Where are they?
I would still like to not do that.
True.
yes.
I understand. But we kind of have to. Otherwise, we're sort of up the creek without a parsnip.
Powder,
Paddle.
I will.
That was supposed to be paddle.
I assume. Powder, I promise once all of this is done, we will help you get the answers you need. But I need to know where they are so I can destroy.
I would see Powder's eyes like doing the spinning thing.
Hunt, do you trust me?
Yes.
Powder, is that true?
Yep.
True.
Trust me when I promise you we will take care of it once this is all handled.
What is it about Alvad that has you so interested, Powder?
There was a message that came up that I have not seen before. Well, at least that I do not remember seeing before.
False. As a GM reminder, there is one other person who has triggered that notification.
Wasn't it the same guy both times?
You've seen it from Alvod twice. There is
Okay.
one other person you've seen it from.
Yeah. It's the same notification just for a different person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that in my notes, and I forgot about that. Okay. Then let me rephrase, because Pato would rephrase. I received a notification that I do not understand.
Since you had told me about that, is this like the ones you've been getting?
I believe so.
True.
So I know why this is important to you. And we will absolutely follow up on this later. Just let me know where they are. We need the samples. We need to handle that.
I have no idea why this is important to you, but what Corey said, absolutely. Once we get
Because-
Alvad in talks with Onaka, I will blow the shit out of him and let you pick up as many pieces as you want. Or less violent means to that end, but you get what I'm saying.
I do. Because I trust you.
True.
They are in the cabinet with Corey's name on them.
All right, and we are in a different room. We're in the my room, not the medical room.
Oh, well,
correct?
then-
Right, we're in the tech room right now.
All right.
Then let me rephrase. They are in the med bay behind
Okay.
the large bottles in a
Cool.
vial with Corey's name on it.
So I get up.
True.
I go retrieve them.
Yeah.
When I get into the room, I take them out. I take the hairs out, put them in my utility belt, take a few of my own hairs, put them in, close it, and I'm heading back.
Okay. Remind me what color Corey's hair is.
That's a good point. Are they?
Alvad's
What-
hair is white. He's an old dude.
Motherfuck.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's what bleach is for.
Yeah, there's
I
probably
don't
bleach
have
in the
time
med bay.
for that. That is true. That
You
is
might
just-
not have tons of time, but it's only a few strands and you are in the med bay, so if you
Yeah.
wanted to try and forge
Yep.
them, you absolutely
Yeah.
can make that attempt.
Which doesn't matter. I'm only destroying them in front of the droids because,
Yeah.
as far as Alwad knows, Alwad can never know that they remained on the ship at all.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I will forge them.
Okay. I want you to just make me a difficulty. Difficulty 1 medicine roll, because
Okay.
bleaching your own hair might not be hard, but getting it the right color that you don't fuck with other elements of it, a little bit is.
Since we have so
but
many.
they're not
light
attached to
side
your head
points
at the time.
Yeah, but
It does make it
That's
easier.
difficulty 1. I'm sure it'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Since we have so many light side points to work with in comparison to our dark side points, I'm going to spend a destiny point
Okay.
on this.
Good call.
It's
Good call.
beautiful. Totally.
We got plenty of those.
Yep.
Make sure. Okay, difficulty 1. Blah 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 blah. 3 successes and an advantage.
Yeah. Corey, you generally know how to time this.
Yeah. So I don't leave them in so long that the hairs just dissolve in my hand.
Yeah. Well, so my thoughts were, 1, it sort of curls and frays and then it
Yeah.
dissolves. But yeah, you managed to forge them with no problem.
Okay. So yeah, and then I head back,
Okay.
set them down, get out my blowtorch and mini
Okay.
blowtorch,
So
I pull out a flamethrower like
No, you need Ares for
Raz's
that.
gun attachment, that's where that went.
the fun
Sorry.
thing about Corey is if she didn't already have a blowtorch, she could just decide she has a blowtorch.
Yeah, but that would cost our last destiny point.
No, you already have one. I'm just
Yeah.
laughing at that particular
Yeah.
instance. So Powder,
Yes.
or actually, let's start. Rerun. Do you have any reason to suspect that these are not the hairs? That
Nope. Rerun's immediately going to follow it up with a question as soon as he's got a moment.
Okay. Powder. Do you suspect that these are not the hairs that Corey thinks that they are, or do you want to?
Nope, because Powder
Okay.
trusts Corey.
Yep. All right.
And Corey was
So
trying
Powder.
really hard to word that in a way that that Powder would not know what she was planning.
Yeah. Powder. You have essentially snoozed the notifications on your brain's cell phone. It's not really. I couldn't think of a better analogy.
No
You've
worries.
essentially snoozed the
Yeah.
notifications, but you're still able to view them and aware when they happen. You see about 4 pop up. Or you know that 4 new ones have suddenly popped into focus.
Can I see what they are?
They're all variations on danger, Stample is still required, retrieval necessary immediately, danger, this process will destroy this sample, other experimentation must be acquired first.
Powder will relay that to Corey and Rerun.
Right then. So you're a super special biosample undercover spy designate kind of thing.
we've
Don't answer that.
known-
We don't need to know.
I mean, we've known for a while that I know right from the start that you're a modified version of your. I just don't know the details. That's yes.
Neither
that is
do I.
I know, and we will figure that out. That is definitely something that we will follow up on as soon as this is all handled.
So, follow-up question. Powder, are you still in possession of or have control over any of the previously collected biosamples?
No.
True.
Do you currently have the means at your disposal to pursue further analysis of the biological profile or medical information of the individual or individuals you collected biosamples from within the last 72 hours?
No.
Powder, do you consider that to be true?
I think so.
So that
Then
comes
true.
over as true. Okay.
Yeah. It's just the question if Powder personally is like, well, I know he's still in the city, so I could go searching for him and stab him or something.
Right.
Yeah, no.
It's
But literally anybody could do that. Okay. Well, Corey, do you think that's a good enough test, or do we need to keep going?
To clarify, what was the exact what was your the exact last question?
Do you still have the capacity at your disposal to pursue further analysis of the biosamples that you collected from Alvad?
And Powder answered no.
And
which
Powder
is
answered no.
Truthful. Or game up is truthful.
because it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, so my recollection, and I could be wrong, of Alvod's
Yeah, I was.
ultimatum, I guess, would be, or conditions, would be that Powder would have no intent on trying to track or learn more about him.
It was two things. One, sample is no longer extant in
Correct.
in your possession,
Mhm.
and two, that incidents would not recur in the future. That Powder would not do this or similar things again.
Mm,
To anyone or just to him?
It was phrased fairly generally, but you
I don't think Alvon gives a shit if we do it to someone else, as long as it's not someone connected to him.
but basically assurances that whatever led to that are stopped. Like,
Yeah.
more than just a don't do it again, a guarantee it will not happen again.
All right.
This, assuming that this goes off well, will satisfy, because it will be no intent to, yeah. The only thing I'm concerned about, we're going to be doing the questioning, right?
I mean, the technician will probably want to ask at least some baseline questions to assure that the
Right.
system is reading accurately. But as far as I'm aware, we are going to be asking the quail.
So my
As far
concern-
as you know.
Sorry.
Queries was what I meant to say.
Sorry, I keep interrupting, but
No,
I'm
it's
here for
fine.
you to keep staying lost. As far as you know, you'll be doing the questioning. However, the technician will likely know what questions need to be asked, and if those questions aren't asked, it's possible that they will be prompted as, "Oh, and you forgot about."
Yeah. My only concern is we're going to have to be careful about the baseline questions, because if it's something like like name designation and it pops up as false, then that will throw the credibility of the entire test into question.
Right. No, I'm planning on baseline questions being clearly observable in the moment facts, like how many droids are in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sitting down?
Yeah.
That
Okay.
kind
Yeah.
of thing.
As long as we are careful with those questions, I think we will be okay. I cannot think of an angle currently that we have. I mean, their technician.
I'm still hooked
could
up,
ask-
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Their technician could ask any number of hypothetical questions.
I would like to try something.
Okay.
Please
True.
ask my designation again.
Can you state your please state your designation for the record?
2-1B.
False.
Please state your original model chassis designation for the record.
2-1B.
False.
Yeah, it's modified, so that's definitely going to be false. And that's the core programming that's been largely white. Yeah.
All right. So that's going to be one of our off the table for baseline questioning ones. However,
So,
by what designation are you colloquially known to the majority of members of this crew?
That's really qualified and sounds sketchy.
powder.
True.
If we have to ask that question, sure, we go that way. But that sounds like we are trying to get a certain response that goes around rules.
True.
Can I suggest that we use a slight deception?
Oh.
True.
Okay.
You asked me to respond with a lie to check the authenticity of the responses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If you state the question differently, there is the possibility that we could use the false reply to our benefit.
So here's my concern is I feel like one of the technician's main questions at the end will be, has everything you've said been truthful? To prevent us having tricked the situation at all.
However,
And if you
ask a question that you have asked me to lie about for the purposes of testing the system.
But if you know you've been deceptive, then if you answer you see what I mean?
Well, no, but if we, as part of the baseline establishment of the functionality of the system, intentionally have Powder lie in a very blatant and obvious way that is obviously intended to be a lie to everyone, including Powder and our outside observer, then has everything you've said been the truth? No, we'll come back accurate.
And what if they ask it in
and
a
if
way
they
like, have you tried to mislead us in any way?
And Powder will say yes, because she was supposed to lie to one of the questions, which technically.
Like, you see what I mean?
I see. Yes,
it's better to avoid that situation at all than try to manipulate this in any way.
I agree with Corey on that too.
I understand.
Good thought, but I feel like these guys are going to be smart enough to know that kind of thing.
And they will probably ask, do you have intent to pursue this line of research at any point in the future? And if you say yes to that, they are not going to be pleased.
Yeah.
So we will, and I can pretty much guarantee they're definitely going to demand that question get asked.
Probably.
So we kind of have to say, yeah, you have to change your mind about that.
Yeah, we're not going to pursue it. We are not going to.
Basically, we're not allowed to say
the situation anymore. Just,
right.
But we will get to the core of what's going on with you.
We will still get to the core, but we cannot have Alvad be a target any longer.
As long as I believe something to be true in the moment, it would come up as true, correct?
No, because right now in the moment, you believe your name to be
2-1B Powder.
But it is. But
it's
those
not.
Remnants of your core programming say, nope. No, we can't. No, we're not going to be able to trick this one.
Almost like when you have two very good programmers running this thing, it makes it harder.
Yeah.
We have shot ourselves in the feet by our own talents.
Yeah. No, just trust me. We will resolve everything that's going on with you to your satisfaction. Just understand.
Not using Alva.
Well, yeah, we cannot follow down that road, right? Or
ever, really.
Yeah. Or ever.
Using him.
As I scratch at my belt subconsciously.
Just kind of just itchy for some reason.
Because I feel like it is actually pretty important, given what Corey's trying to do. I'm going to mandate a deception check from Corey.
No, that's fair, because I am trying to.
And I'm going to mandate a cool check from both Rerun and Powder. And I'm flipping a dark side point on Corey.
What's the difficulty?
The difficulty is 2. It's a standard opposed roll.
And you
I'm
said
flipping that shit there.
Cool, not vigilance.
It is cool to determine if someone is lying to you.
Okay, cool. 2 successes.
Damn it! That's fine. You can think
One
I'm lying
success and an
as
advantage.
long as Powder doesn't.
You just need
Okay.
at least. You just need
You
more.
need at least one success and potentially one advantage.
Motherfucker.
So, the way Corey is answering a few questions and sort of the scratching at the belt, but also like just generally like we can't do this any further, though not objecting previously to Rerun saying, oh, we could blow up Alvad. There's something fishy going on with Corey. You're sure Corey has some other plan that she has not told you.
But you don't know.
No, you can't determine the exact details of a plan from an insight check.
Right. No, that's fine. Because
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
for all they know, my plan could be me going off by myself and shooting Alvad in the head. Who knows?
Rerun just stares at Corey for a very long time and then decides to test this. Powder, do you have any intention of pursuing acquisition of biological samples and or research into the biological profile of the individual known to us as Alvad now or any time in the future?
No.
Is that true, Powder?
I feel like if you have to think about it, the answer is no.
No, I'm trying to think of because she trusts or because Powder trusts Corey, it is true.
Yeah, because for all Powder knows, Corey's going to take it on entirely by herself, and not. Powder may never know the answer.
Well, it's not exactly that, but there are other things as well. But
Yeah, no, because Rerun is thinking Corey's going to literally murder Alvad and then turn every last atom of his physical being into unrecognizable, unanalyzable ash, just so that Powder's programming shuts the fuck up about Alvad.
Okay. So I love that is this is the, I feel like this is the comic panel where Corey and Rerun's various assumptions about what will happen next are in like thought bubbles next to each other.
Yep.
I like
and
that.
Powder just has a picture of glass in their head.
I like that last week Corey was getting on Ares' case about wanting to kill people, and then this shit.
You can't just murder people. Watch me.
Well, no, Corey has no intent to kill Alvad.
Corey is not. That's the point. Is that as a recap, that's not Corey's plan. That's Rerun's assumption.
Oh, I know.
So
That
Rerun's
said-
got this assumption. Corey's got their own assumption. Powder's sitting there thinking about our cyborg friend, and I have a feeling that Rainbow is off in a corner, and all that's in Rainbow's imagination right now is the SpongeBob SquarePants carton of milk that just goes sploosh, you know?
You have no idea what goes on in
I
that.
have no idea what goes,
I mean,
goes
that's
on
it.
in
Corey has no problem with killing people for specific reasons. Her perception is that half of this ship kills people just for kicks sometimes, which she's wrong about. But that's
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yep,
but
yep,
from her
yep.
perspective, she can't see any justifiable reason for it. Well, I think this is as good as we're going to get.
it's good as get. We're so fucked.
You have their Alvad's contact info, right, Corey?
Yep.
You want to call for that tech?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I think we're contacting Alvad, and then
And then Alvad sending. Okay. Yeah. Let's
Alvad's coming
make
quick.
let's make the call. We'll do the analysis here.
Yep.
Powder and I will sit here and play Sabak or something, and we can figure out what the rest of everybody else is doing in the meantime.
Sweet.
So that takes about probably 2 hours or so. Is there anything that the other members of the group are doing during that time?
I
Probably a sign on the tech Corey's workshop saying "Do not enter"?
I'm in the cockpit. I have on one side of the desk a hollow with a swoop race on it going on. And on the other one, I assume that there are that bounty hunters in general have access to like whatever the Star Wars version of a police scanner is. And I'm just like sort of just idly scanning for open channels and seeing if anything of interest pops out at me.
Nothing that particularly interests you. Corvell is obviously not crime-free, but there's nothing that strikes you as particularly unusual or of interest to any of your current pursuits.
Yeah, because we're not doing much until whatever the fuck is happening downstairs is resolved, so I'm just whiling away the time with swoop and police scanner.
I checked my messages, checked the bounty boards for descriptions of myself, Lux, Sen, or this ship, in its previously battered and acid pockmarked state on the bounty boards. And then after that, I just head to the weapons room and do some routine maintenance while watching Sai work, because I've never seen him do that before. All he does is read in his room.
Yep. Okay. So, Praz, when you're checking for bounties of various people, nothing on Powder, nothing on you, nothing on Sai, nothing on Rerun anymore, technically.
What?
At
I'm
the moment.
disappointed.
Look, you never blew up any of those swoop bikes, okay?
It's true, I didn't.
There is something you haven't seen previously. There is a scanning around. There is a bounty you can find on the ship. Yes, in its previous configuration. What you notice that you may not have known previously is that this indication has a pretty general outer rim last known coordinates. Nothing terribly interesting or specific. You guys may have been by there, but nothing that strikes you as, oh yeah, we were there and did this thing. But it also has like a lot of information that reads to you as a bounty hunter as from a receipt of sale. So the numbers for...
So it has our ship's actual transponder codes and stuff. That's nice. I'm going to have to talk to the people that can do computer things later. Okay.
Yeah, it seems to have all of the specific information of the ship as you bought it when you bought it on your homeworld. And generally, these are the guns we think it's been outfitted with that are fairly accurate for the main guns. But we're clearly not... They're clearly like general guesses of your capabilities based on
so
what's
there's
visually...
bounty for the ship, they don't know who's crewing it.
Bounty for the ship and its crew.
Okay.
Though, no, none of your names or identities are mentioned in that manifest.
Okay. All right, cool. That's what I've been looking for. So I will make sure to do extra routine maintenance, extra care when I'm doing maintenance on the weapons, because I want them to work should the needs arise.
Yep. Yep. And eventually, the scene we were at earlier comes to an end.
Yep.
Powder is unhooked from the machine.
Oh, and I go find Solo.
Okay.
I'm currently in the cargo room doing push-ups.
Hey, sorry, don't mean to interrupt.
88, 80. Oh, hello.
Whatever it is you're doing.
Sorry. So sweaty.
You want
Was that 88 or 8.8? I couldn't quite hear.
Dealer's choice.
Okay, good to know.
So now I'm
Sorry.
picturing the scene from Sky
Either way,
High.
lying.
sorry. You needed something.
Yeah, no,
I know that was like last night, so
Oh,
hopefully it wasn't urgent.
no, it
but-
wasn't.
Okay.
No, so I just had two things actually. The first thing is a question request. So the few times we've been in firefights, I want to make sure that when I do land a shot, that it hits
You'll
hard.
get there. I promise.
I know. But I was wondering if you could make my blaster pack more of a punch.
Yeah, I can almost certainly do that.
Okay, I have quite a bit of credits to work with in terms of paying for the supplies and all that. So yeah, I just want this thing to hit like a truck. It's it's a heavy blaster, so it's the biggest light weapon I could find,
Yeah.
shooting one-handed, and I just kind of
Holds
hand
out
my
a
gun
hand,
over.
yeah,
Yeah.
hands it over. Yeah, it's
it's
gonna
not-
be a piece of cake.
Yeah, it's not modified. You've got all the room to work with on it, so just turn this thing into a wrecking ball. The other thing I wanted to bring up actually kind of refers back to yesterday. I know you said it in passing, so take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, because you may have to correct me. But you
Okay.
sort of mentioned dealing or getting to know your aunt. Sort of
Straightens up.
that can go on the back burner. I think your actual wordage was, "I can deal with that later."
Well, not. Probably I said that. Sure.
Then then my point being that I was going to bring up simply was this. As someone who has said that in the past about family, there is not always a later. And given the type of shit this crew does, as I've gathered, you should take that to heart. I do not mean to pry or obviously push you in any direction when it comes to your family, not mine. Just as someone with experience in terms of literally saying that phrase word for word and not getting the chance later, don't make later so much longer than you think it would be.
She pauses there for a second and like, so did you just hand me a heavy blaster and then imply that that my aunt might die in the very near future?
No, I implied we might die.
Oh, well, that doesn't make the joke nearly as funny.
Yeah. No, your aunt, from what I've gathered in my brief conversation, is a Spitfire and probably is going to be fine all by herself.
You're probably
I'm
not wrong.
More worried about us.
No, it's
Just something to
It's-
think about.
Okay.
But thank you for helping with the bluster. And I go back
Yeah.
down 68, 69, just
You're
wrong
at
number.
88, 89 before.
Oh, I didn't count those, not full range. 70, 71, and I'm already struggling at 72.
Those fucking organics are so weird.
Said the organic.
Are you ever like fucking organics, even though you are an organic?
And then I'm just
Well,
simply waiting to get our orders on where we're going to next and what's going on.
Okay. Yeah. So, anything else anyone is doing immediately?
waiting to hear back from Alvad and or his tech.
Yeah. I set that up.
You were able to easily enough set up a time given the contact information previously exchanged. John, were you about to say something?
Nope.
Okay, sorry. Okay. So, everyone, what's the fucking word?
Out of curiosity, though, does Rerun or Corey explain what's happening to the rest of us?
Yes.
Oh, that would probably be a good idea, but Corey would not think of that.
Let me see if Rerun thinks of it. I'm going to say that's a vigilance thing, even though it's more mental. Nope. Rerun doesn't think of it either.
Good to know.
Just twiddling our
All right.
thumbs, then. Twiddling our thumbs.
Okay. So,
Rerun's
you
just
set up a time
obsessively
for a
going
meeting.
over and over and over the system again.
And Rerun.
Yep.
You do get a reply back from Glass.
Okay.
Who it's a new comm, but she connects to you.
Mhm.
I managed to find something on the information you requested. Or
Excellent. What did you find?
word in the collector's markets about such armor is that it was last seen under my brother's ownership. No one seems to know an exact line of who it came from, though I found one less than honest or scrupulous dealer that it insisted to me he previously saw the armor hundreds of years ago in the halls of an ancient and great hut. I am very skeptical of his analysis.
Very good. So, whoever this person is, they are very adept at covering their tracks, it seems.
Or the seller that sold this to us was the first. I would not be surprised if my brother was the first collector dealer to possess the armor. If prior to that it was either traded somewhat directly as these things are, or someone happened upon the acquisition and initially sold it to my brother.
So either your brother got it from the original possessor or from someone fairly close to them is your best guess?
To be crass, yes, a hypothetical situation I am proposing would be such a thing as this person died, their armor
was stripped off their corpse.
Possessed, and knowing potential values held on such armor, and not having moral qualms, it was sold, or this individual chose to sell their armor. That, or the previous owner was very private about the acquisition, and there would be likely one owner in that case.
Good to know. Thank you so much for getting that for us. Can we expect you back at the Nasari? soon?
Yes. I'm headed back now.
All right. Well, give us a call if you stumble across any trouble along the way. We will have some visitors, so there may be some unfamiliar faces on board when you get back. But it's nothing too aggressive. So I shouldn't think we would have any need to worry.
Please let me know if you need anything of me.
Thank you so much. I absolutely shall. And now that he's had that little sort of brain jolt, he'll also get on the ship's internal comms. Alvad's sending his technician or somebody over in Flam hours, so keep an eye out for them and don't shoot them when they walk up the ramp, please.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Unless there's
And honestly,
any
those
other...
were the only two responses he was particularly concerned about, so he's fine not hearing from anybody else.
Ciolo's at the door when the guy arrives. BAM!
I got an upgraded blaster, motherfucker!
Somebody tried to break into the ship.
Corey, you probably don't have time to modify that blaster right this instant. So...
No, but
Usually takes-
she's definitely starting.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough. I just wanted to...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so... The... Okay, sorry. Eventually, a woman in sort of a sharp blue kind of power suit almost shows up at the door. She has a small data pad, and one of her hands is clearly
Cybernetic.
cybernetic. Thank you.
For sure. Rerun will meet her at the door.
Yep.
And he will address her in basic, because he's a dick.
Okay.
Corey will show up too.
Basically, welcome. I am R3RN. You may call me Rerun. I understand you're here for analysis and diagnostics on our medical droid.
Okay, just to clarify, you meant binary.
Or yeah, sorry, in binary, not basic. My bad. Yep.
A little confused. She will give a nod.
Hi, I'm Corey.
Hello. Yes, I'm here to examine this from my client. Where are we headed?
We're headed to my my workspace. This way. By the way, we are an exact opposite look of each other, I think. Me and because she's like in her dirty jumpsuit. Like she spent the last however long it was trying disassembling the blaster and starting to work through it. So smudges everywhere and
Yeah, this woman she is human. She has sort of neatly parted shoulder length orange hair in this sort of very sharp bob cut power suit. Elegant, though undisguised, or no synth skin, hand. Small, again, very elegant data pad. And she'll
come on, pat her
head
on the
in.
back this way.
Your tech as well.
Yes.
I'm doing this as a favor to Alvad. I'm also a tech myself. I'm more, honestly, this it's a little outside of my field. I'm more of a xeniology person myself. What about you?
I do a lot of modifications, just maintenance of equipment. A little bit of a designer, inventor. Particular specialty in droid stuff. So, question, is Alvad going to be here, or are you making a report back to him?
No, he seemed surprisingly concerned about something. He may have just had a business meeting. I'm reporting back to him.
Okay.
He have had to do some tech modification on stuff. You wouldn't believe how agile elephant and lemur bats are. I've had to modify so many different net guns to manage to even get one to stay still long enough that I could put a tracker on. And she will just talk at you the entire time about random species and things. And you realize she's managed to get through like 4 of these conversations in the space of going the 3 doors down.
Right. That's fine. I will definitely engage and natter on as well, because making friends with the person who is going to give the report on this situation is a good thing.
And Sai was doing something?
Oh, I internally calmed Rerun, which I got to answer, but just asking if they wanted me close nearby in case the conversation ever got weird with the tech and needed someone to kind of take over the convo, and I got a response back, yes. So
Yes.
Sai's just gonna be like awkwardly floating in the general area close enough to where he can overhear the conversation.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. For stuff like that is directly relevant to the thing that's immediately happening, I do appreciate when that's brought in verbally.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sounds good.
Like, I have about 4 different chat windows I have to pay attention to.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
fair.
I'm just going to wait out in the main cargo room outside of Corey's workspace in case anybody needs to make a run for it. I can tackle them.
I was told not to shoot anybody, so I'm staying in the cockpit, watching swoops and listening to the scanner.
It's actually, so that group that you were, not the one that Rerun has issues with, but the one that you were at the bar for is actually having a pretty great set of games.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
I've got like a little, I've figured out enough to know like who the teams are, so I've got like just like
Yeah.
a little like odds betting thing going on off the side. I'm not betting, I'm just watching to see what other people are like, what the general feel for everybody is right now.
Yeah.
You're going to leave and going to come back from a kiosk with a little swoop bobble, like a bobblehead, except it's a little swoop bite.
I mean, there's already one on the.
I want to point
Best
out
bet.
that this thing makes me feel so called out. But yeah, okay.
There's
So,
al-
yeah,
there-
you're
there's
looking-
there's already a little bobblehead like on the.
To absolutely no one's surprise, the Mayhem and the Dragons are doing terrible in the swoop bike racing.
Yeah. Don't get me started on a rant.
I started this as a hybrid football baseball analogy, and we have immediately taken it to Overwatch League.
Of course we have.
Overwatch League is the only sport that matters right now.
That is also correct. And for the record, the Mayhem are doing a hell of a lot better. We would be
They're
talking
doing
about
much
the
better
Dragons
now, yes.
and the Fuel.
Yep.
Because fuck the Dallas Fuel.
The
No,
only
they're
thing I
actually-
like about Dallas Fuel is their
Sorry,
color scheme.
guys. We are
Anyway,
genuinely
all
not
right.
here to insult your teams.
I actually feel bad for them and like them a lot, since they got rid of one particular person.
Anyway,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Neither do I.
Same.
That is why I'm quickly moving the conversation away before someone says something that gets Twitch trolls on us.
I know
about-
this is the wrong venue for us to be trashing particular players who once but no longer play in Overwatch
Yeah,
League.
here we are going.
So
that's not my concern.
You can send your complaints to me at John A. Bates on Twitter.
I mean, if you want to hear a lot of hashtag bisexual facts, feel free to follow me on Twitter. John A. Bates. Your Twitter handle's above your
There's some
face,
good-
Jeremy.
There's some good facts.
I'm well aware.
Because this
Anyway.
is not. If you want to hear more of these tangents, watch Critical Thinking.
Yes.
This is not Critical Thinking. We try and stay on topic sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. So she will sort of endlessly chat about the biology stuff to you, xenology, whatever. And you arrive at, I assume Powder's just in Corey's workplace already, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rerun would have been setting things up and getting everybody connected.
Then Rerun, I want you to make me that computer's difficulty 2 with a setback die roll for
Okay.
getting all of the wires in place.
Don't screw it up.
Let's try and make sure. Hey, yo.
Yeah,
I
easy
think I
enough.
did okay.
3 successes,
Good.
3 threats, 1 triumph, unless I'm missing something.
Nope, that's
that is
absolutely correct. Some of the insulation on these might be a little frayed, but everything's hooked up great.
Yep, everything's hooked up fine. Rerun, you even run a few, like, very basic practice questions with Powder, like, what color is that box?
Right.
Just to make sure that nothing got... it's reading out correctly, and...
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you think Aries is pretty? Things like that.
I'm actually curious what the answer to that is.
No.
True.
Is that true?
But Powder doesn't think anyone is pretty, so.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, fair enough. Aries, you sneeze.
Achoo!
And we move back. Yeah, so eventually Corey and the technician arrive, and she'll sort of nod. Hello, I don't believe I have your name.
At the moment, I go by the designation Powder.
True. She wasn't actually looking at the screen at this point.
Right.
Well, Powder, I am, I am Madeline. I'm a friend of Allbod's. I'm a xenologist, and I'm here to make sure that everything goes really smoothly. I won't be talking, but I will be here watching you, and I might have some questions for your friends to help them along. Okay?
Yes.
All right. And she'll sort of sit down by the display output, which I assume you have faced away from Powder.
Yes.
And however you guys want to do this, you have the floor. The room is set up.
Siolo's lurking outside somewhere.
Sai is lurking outside. Sai can actually specifically hear this conversation unless you want to step away at this point. Praz, you're also lurking somewhere around.
Yeah, if their
Did
door's
you want,
open, I'll
just
be able to
for
hear.
my clarification, did you want to be in earshot or did you want to stay further away?
I won't hear the general. I'll just hear them talking.
Okay.
So I'll be able to tell the tone of the room, I
You'll
guess.
be able to see if someone screams or things get out of hand.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So,
If Corey doesn't seem to object,
No.
Rerun's
that
gonna take
Corey
point
is
on the questions
letting
then.
Rerun do the questioning.
okay. Right.
Is Rerun asking them in binary?
no. He switches over to basic at this point.
Okay.
All right. Baseline questions to be asked first in order to test and verify the veracity of the system. Let's begin. Powder. What is my designation?
R3RN rerun.
Which reads true.
Corey, are
I
you
assume?
watching the readout?
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Okay. Corey, if you're giving thumbs up, Madeline will lean over to you. It's probably best if we just watch and don't give them indications. It tends to make things go more smoothly.
Fair enough. I don't do a lot of these,
either.
so that is a good point, though.
She's much larger than a badger.
Yes. Yes, they are.
How many organics are currently in the room with you, Powder?
Out of character, is it Adeline or Madeline?
Madeline.
Madeline. Would she count as an organic? She does, right?
Yes.
As for I mean,
Okay. Well, because I know that I remember you said something about the hand, so I just wanted to make sure. Corey and Madeline.
In general, in Star Wars, people with cybernetics are considered
Right.
organic.
Powder's like,
And there's
You have to get to like
Go
General
check
Grievous level
gather
before
some
you're
of
not
that
an organic
Madeline's
anymore.
hair.
okay, and there's only the 4 of us in the room, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Then Powder will answer 2.
And how many droids are in this room?
2.
Now, Powder is currently seated. Because of how she's set up. To test the negative result, please intentionally answer this question falsely. Are you standing right now, Powder?
Yes.
Very good. Let us proceed to the more important questions for this situation. Within the last 4 days, did you collect any biological samples from individuals who are not considered members of the crew of the Nasari, this vessel?
Yes.
Were any of those samples gathered from an individual known as Alvad to the members of the crew of this vessel?
Yes.
Have you relinquished up until this moment, have you relinquished all of those biological samples from your possession?
Yes.
To confirm, you are no longer in possession or control of any of the physical samples that you collected from Alvad.
Correct.
Were you able to perform any analysis on those samples while they were in your possession?
Out of character, you were.
I was right. Yes.
Did you, in fact, do analysis on those samples while they were in your possession?
Yes.
I think we just found the questions we forgot to ask.
No, you asked them. It came up false, and you went right past it.
Do you have any intent to, in the future, proceed along any line of pursuit to further investigate or analyze the biological profile of the individual known as Alvad, or the information gained during your analysis?
No,
Powder, is that true?
it is true.
Okay.
Rerun turns to Madeline. Any other questions you would like to have asked?
Madeline will. If you don't mind,
Please proceed.
in your own words, what in your own words, what has happened to the data that you acquired from your experimentation?
Out of character, I'm trying to remember.
You learned
think it was-
some information from it that you have and you haven't shared with anyone, unless you've
was-
done so.
No, I haven't. I'm trying to think of exactly how I would say this. It has been compartmentalized.
Is that true for powder?
Yes.
Since
your
this
own-
went so... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
In your own words, has the have you resolved whatever led you? Ah, fuck, just supposed to ask open-ended questions. That's hard. In your own words, what has been done and to resolve your initial choice to who genetic information via assault. Which is sort of fancy talk for what have you done to make sure you won't assault people in the future?
Oh, assurances have been made that I will no longer need to do so.
It's a pretty odd question.
From the hallway.
Yeah, I still think it's odd that, no offense, all that isn't just filing charges. When someone comes at you with scissors, that's like the normal person thing to do, but I've known Alvad long enough that that's not always what he does. Okay.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I think, and based on my limited experience with Alvad, and yeah, I mean, you clearly know him better, but he's a scary fucker, right?
I don't think so. I mean, is he? That's odd.
Yeah,
Tries
he
to be.
is. And you ask most people here, they're probably gonna, who would know of him, you're probably gonna say yeah. And he's
No.
scary for reasons that he would not want to go to authorities about. I don't want to get too much into his business or anything like that, but that's probably why.
She looks very confused at that. Whatever.
I mean, essentially, this is just it was a glitch of old software that we're gonna resolve. Sorry, guys, I'm improvising.
Yeah, you're doing fine.
You're going to resolve or have resolved?
It's going to take so that we are
in the process of resolving.
that
type of coding
specific
takes a while.
glitch is going to be resolved. As far as Alvad is concerned, it is resolved because it's not going to happen to Alvad anymore, or anyone that Alvad is associated with. And we're not going to just do a straight memory wipe the way that Alvod wanted. So it's going to take me a little bit more time than he would want.
So look, you guys are totally on your own time frame with this. I'm around. I don't think Alvod's got any pressing he needs to do this right now, but
the problem is we're not really on a time frame in terms of what Alvod is going to do once we get this situation, once he's satisfied with our side of it.
I can try and ask him, but what he asked for was to have this glitch essentially be resolved and have some sort of proof or assurance that it's resolved. I can see if he's okay with just him, but Alvod's a little bit eccentric. More altruistic than you might be expecting sometimes.
How about this? And he turns back to Powder. Of the programming aspects that motivated your initial collection of Alvod's biosamples, are they able, by your current programming and systems capability, to be ignored at your choice?
Yes.
You are not inherently compelled or forced, whether by your will or against it, to forcibly gather biological samples from any given individual when your programming suggests that you may do so.
No.
And you intend, from this point forward, to ignore those samples when they ignore those impulses or notifications or programming directives when they suggest you gather biological samples from any target in a non-consenting manner.
Yes.
Turns back to Madeline.
Sounds good to me.
One, Powder,
Good
is that
sigh.
true? Out of character.
Yes, they would all be true. Yeah.
Alan will. In your own words, whatever led to it happening, are you going to do what you did? She'll give the correct date and time of when you took DNA from Alvad at the bar. Again.
No.
I can ask, but sounds like he was pretty specific with you. We'll see how he feels about this.
Would he like a recording of this examination?
If you think that would help, I can give him that as well.
Do you think it could hurt, Corey?
Nope.
Aren't you the one here to determine that? Shouldn't you know if it would help or not?
Not necessarily.
I'm the one here to I don't think I got your name.
It's Sai.
Madeline. I'm the one here to make sure that the tech is set up correctly, that the data outreads make sense, ensure that the investigation is conducted properly.
Yeah. Ensuring honesty, not ensuring...
I was told what the parameters were that you guys agreed upon with Alvad.
Right.
I don't necessarily enough. The parameters, as he told me them, were that biological samples had been destroyed.
Yep.
He's so weird about that. And that insurances were made that whatever issues, programming or otherwise, led to this were resolved so that it would not happen in the future.
Yes.
And what I'm hearing is that you're in the process of resolving that.
Well, no.
Well, she just answered.
It should be clarified. We are in the process of removing the remnants of behavioral stuff, but those behavioral subroutines are not, as Powder has just said, are ones that they can ignore. Up until this point, because it has never come up, there was never any reason for a medical droid to think there was anything wrong with, just taking a biological sample from somebody without their consent.
What
And
we're
again,
saying, Madeline.
If that's good enough for Alvad, that's fine. But you're still in the process of that removal. So I don't know. Alvad may want to wait until you're done with that.
I mean, if he's going to be that
intractable,
then okay, fair enough.
I believe from a programming perspective, the situation is resolved but not eliminated. If what he needs is for the situation to be resolved, then we have accomplished his directive. Now, those subroutines are still in the process of being purged once we figure out how to isolate the code that is giving these notifications and impulses to Powder as a droid. But the situation is resolved.
Okay.
No. And Madeline, we understand you're not the person who we need to be explaining this to.
True.
Look, he's an old friend.
I get it. I guess the easiest way to explain it would be
I'm just saying that
like this
I don't know if this will be enough for him.
Can I make an offer? Make a suggestion? Is that possible?
I mean, we're gonna have to make that suggestion to Alvad once he makes his final determination. We're trying to argue our points to the wrong person.
No. I think if Madeline doesn't want to have to keep dealing with this, I think there's a simple solution.
Okay.
I don't mind dealing with this.
Oh, well, you just seemed like you were getting very frustrated, and I wanted to maybe make it easier for you.
No, this really isn't my thing. I honestly work more with small rodents and other similarly sized creatures from across the galaxy, particularly those with unusual singular mutations. I want you to understand that I'm going to ask, and every piece of information you give may help your case if you feel it will, but this doesn't sound to me like what I know he was asking for, so I want you to...
I guess so. Here would be the analogy that I would give.
Can I make a negotiations roll?
You can make an offer and you can augment that with a roll, but you can't just roll your way
The
Well,
out.
that's why
problem is-
I've been trying to say something.
The problem is we're trying to negotiate with the person who doesn't make the
Right.
determination.
And I
Right.
have a suggestion how to work around that.
Okay.
Okay.
So then let's just do this, and I think it takes care of everyone's issues. You get to go back to studying and doing what you want to do. The favor is taken care of. You saw what needed to be seen. You agree that we've taken the precautions. It's dealt with. You saw a blank droid's mind. You have done your favor. It's taken care of. Our crew member has answered all the questions. You've seen the wiring and everything. It's correct, and everyone gets to move on with their lives. You've said it yourself. The man's eccentric, kind of making a big deal out of nothing. The samples have been destroyed. It's no big deal. We move on.
And we will wait to hear the
You
results
can
of your
make
report.
me that negotiation check. There's going to be 2 setback die on it.
Okay.
And I'll flip a dark side point because why not?
Because you
yeah,
have
so
the
difficulty
fault.
3, 2 setbacks, flip to dark side point.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So just so I get this, so it's going to be 2 purple, 1 red, and 2 black. Correct?
Yes.
Just make sure I did that correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds right.
And then I'm going to upgrade. I'm going to use and upgrade mine. So I should be rolling 5 yellows on this.
Hot damn, sir.
2 advantages.
That's not as bad as I was afraid it
Yeah.
was gonna be.
Nope. Could have
Yeah.
been much worse.
So you're asking me to lie.
No.
I'm asking you to. You look.
You're asking.
The samples were destroyed, and you've seen everything.
You're asking me to not. We might not be close anymore, but you're asking me to lie to a close friend about what I saw, and you're asking me to not give him the details that he specifically asked for.
Right. Okay.
Those details aren't going to happen. We're not going to wipe Powder's brain.
That's
That's
not,
what I was
that's-
asked to confirm.
Mhm. So, okay. I guess this is the this is sort of where I feel like we're at, and it feels like he is asking to put it in your terms, and I'm probably doing this inexpertly because I don't know your field of research as well as mine, and I don't like the straight analogy, but still, it's probably the best way to. So, Elvod sees Powder as an unruly animal who is misbehaving, and we have trained that animal properly to avoid that, and there is no more intent in that animal, but there is still the capacity, unless we biologically modify behavioral patterns to.
Let me put it this way. If you were to have she'll list off some Star Wars pet species because I don't feel like looking that up right now. If you were to have
Right.
a pet snake, or particularly keep around a pet snake that was of a venomous variety, or if I was to have in my lab a snake that happened to have a very particularly dangerous or toxic venom that had in the past harmed someone with that venom, it is generally standard practice to, and and some ensure that that is no longer a risk.
Right.
And Alva might feel that one way to accomplish that in this case is a wipe, but specifically, I am being sent to, if you'll pardon the crudeness of the analogy, confirm that the venom sacs have been removed. And you tell me essentially that you are regularly draining the snake venom. And I say, I can take that back to the person who asked me to do this, but that's not exactly what was asked, so I don't know if they will feel, that is a reasonable stopgap.
And
or if that is more than a stopgap, actually he addresses what you were required to do.
right. I would say it's more like we have, and again, I don't like using this analogy, but it's the best one, trained the snake no longer to strike.
That's not better, but it still matches the analogy of you were asked one thing, it seems you've done another. I can see if that's good enough.
And that's all that I'm asking.
Yeah.
I realize that you cannot make Alvad say one way or the other. And that this is ultimate. Yeah.
I will let him know that you tried to have me deceive when I voiced concerns.
Can the advantages be that she doesn't? Because I got advantages. So like something good still comes out of me failing, right? Isn't that the point of advantages?
Well, here's the question, and Rerun will actually vocalize this. I'm sorry, when did we ask you to lie? Because Rerun's been listening to the conversation very closely, and I think that's something entirely in how she may have interpreted our statements, but I don't think anybody actually asked.
You would have noticed this. Specifically, okay. Siolo said, you saw a blank droid, which is not true. Is not.
No, that is,
any
okay.
Of you presenting or what she was receiving, it was not a deception on your part or her part, but by asking that, Siolo did ask her to lie.
Okay. Then if Rerun picked up on that, Siolo, I apologize for throwing you under the bus like this. I don't believe anybody intentionally asked you to lie. Siolo is not the most technically apt individual, and I believe his choice of words was, through no fault of his own, not at all accurate to the situation. He thought he was simply saying, I believe Siolo's original intent was, how about you just, since we know you can't make the decision, can you just take the results back and see what Alvad says? So that we can all continue on with our pursuits and wait for the actual decision to be handed down. Under no circumstances, I don't think anybody here wants you to attempt to present false information. That is entirely counter to the main reason that you're here. So I believe my companion may have misspoken, and if he didn't, well, that's on him. Neither of the two actual technical experts here wanted you to do anything than report accurately what you did witness.
That's fine. I've worked in science a long time. I know when the PR guy's asking me to fudge the p-value to make my experiment seem more significant.
Yeah. And Rerun's looking over at Siolo as he's saying this, trying to determine, did Siolo actually intend to try and get her to lie or not?
Sure. Cool check. And based on, you can set Rerun's difficulty however you feel is appropriate, and based on that, you get to decide.
One success, one threat.
You did that with...
Either way. What do you feel Rerun learns?
I did with that too. Whoops.
Oh, it was very obvious I was trying to get her to lie.
Oh, okay. Also, Siolo, we're going to have a conversation later.
Sai just throws his hands up in the air and just goes, I don't know what I'm fucking doing on this ship anymore, and just walks off.
Oh, poor Sai.
I have yet to, as a character who talks, I have yet to talk anyone into anything in this game. So I don't know what's going on. And Sai just
Your
walks
moment
off.
will come.
We'll get you there, buddy.
Okay, that's not true. You talked your way into a fancy party, into a whole bunch of intel about that party, and then you talked your target onto your ship where you shot him tons of times.
Well, Sai didn't, but yes, he did. Definitely.
Sai talked him onto the
The
ship.
collective you. The collective you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talked him right into those plasma bolts.
Talked him right into a corner.
Talked him
Talk him
right
into a coffin.
But yeah, okay. Moving on. Well, then, one last question. Powder, relating to the subject that I'm reporting on and other things that have come up in this conversation, and if so, what else? Is there anything else that you feel needs to be added or hasn't been mentioned that should be?
No.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as Powder is concerned or aware,
Yeah.
they have answered all of the questions in the way that will best help this group.
Yep.
And by not talking and being snarky, has not fucked it up.
Right.
Other people have fucked it up. But Powder has not.
I've never seen so many people shoot themselves in the foot in the same room.
Why do you think I stayed out of there?
All right. Well, if that is all the questions, I will begin disassembling the equipment. Thank you for your time, Madeline. We appreciate it. I apologize for the confusion.
Have a great day.
Likewise.
I will escort
Yeah.
Madeline out.
And again, like, you get about 5 steps before she's back talking about various species, and you get the sense that she doesn't notice that this isn't very interesting to anyone else.
I mean, Corey is legitimately interested, so
Yeah, it's very industry talk. You follow most of it just fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, and she will wave goodbye and head out.
As I see the person leaving the ship, I'll just hit the intercom. So how'd it go?
I need a drink.
About as well as could be expected, honestly, I think.
No, yeah, it actually didn't go as. It could have gone much, much worse.
So what you're saying
I
is,
kind
I
of
don't
wish the
need
Powder
to-
was still hooked up to the thing, because it would have been like, I believe it went well. Lie.
No, because reruns in the middle, it takes quite a while to get all the wires off. So reruns
Yeah,
sort of halfway done disassembling. If you want to say that.
Powder will say, I believe it went well. False.
Right. So I guess the real question is, do I need to shoot anybody or not?
We haven't heard back yet, so
Let me know.
We
Not
will-
at this time.
we will let you.
Oh,
You
cool.
had to shift guns on her, didn't you?
Maybe.
Oh, look, a scorch mark. Where? Right there.
Yeah, motherfucker. Did Hondo give us any contact information?
Did who what?
Hondo. Give us contact.
You have contact information for Hondo's sort of
Oh, right.
accountant.
Green Vest. We have contact info for Green Vest.
Yeah.
Rerun's gonna calm him and just give him a quick rundown. In the midst of negotiations with Alvad, things are tenuous but proceeding. We are still optimistic about results. Just wanted to let you know we're making progress.
Noted.
When Corey goes off to escort Madeline off the ship, Praz will walk into the room and turn to Rerun. Hey, we need to... What do you know about ship transponders and how to change them?
I know it's super complicated and goddamn expensive.
All right. We may need to do that.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's what I said.
How high profile is this?
You remember that thing I told you about with Sen and Lux and that moon prison with acid?
And shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember what you told me.
Yeah, so I've been checking the bounty boards pretty religiously since
You do?
then. Yeah. The ships popped up. Not with our current paint job and everything, but it doesn't really matter if you have the matching transponders.
That is true. How much money you got?
On me, about
Sure.
6,000 credits.
Yeah, we're fucked. Okay.
65, 64.
Enough. Yeah. Put another 0 on, and we might be able to start talking, but I will try and figure out what I can manage.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay.
We're gonna have to
let
tell
me-
Corey to get both you guys on this somehow.
I will see what I can do to make some potential options that way.
Yeah, the last location that they have for us is in the Outer Rim, but that's it.
Okay. Well, at least we're not in the rim right now. And,
Yeah.
like, seriously, how... Is this one of those bounties that literally everybody's going to be drooling over? Or is this one of those bounties where you're like, if I run across them, I might check, but I'm not going to necessarily
Did I see who posted the bounty or what it was worth? I saw the amount it was worth, right?
Yeah, it's for what is essentially a manhunt. It's a mid to high range bounty. You wouldn't be surprised if a lot of bounty hunters are like, yeah, I'll take that one. It's not like the...
Is it enough to change the transponder code? Is it worth that much?
I know it's not.
No.
It's not enough that you could buy yourself new transponder codes with your own bounty, but that would not
Yeah,
work.
no, not that. That's not what I meant. But
Out of
like, if somebody
curiosity, is there a stipulation in the bounty for just the ship but not the crew?
No, the cruise too.
I know it has like
the crew
like
and the bounty.
yeah, and I know it's got like the big
crew-
prizes for both, but is there like a partial for half?
Definitely, like, definitely you could get something for the ship and ship, given that it probably has a fair amount of information about what this crew is doing and where it's headed. If you can't get that prize from the Empire directly, or whoever posts bounty, probably the Empire, then
Probably.
you could get that from someone going after the bounty who'll pay you a cut for essentially ship. We'll get our slicer to look at it, figure out where they're headed, or use it as bait. Though, in both of those cases, whoever takes takes the ship from you is going to make damn sure that you're not the crew that's being looked for.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because
the last coordinates was my home planet, right?
No, the last known coordinates were somewhere in the outer rim, that you suspect is kind of garbage to indicate outer rim, but not give away the location of the secret base that you blew up.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be your best guess.
Yeah. Last known location at the secret prison.
Is not
Okay.
what they want to do.
Exactly.
Area 51.
Okay. I have an idea then.
Area 51 is not particularly secret, but yeah.
Okay, fine. Area 52.
What are Okay, I have an idea. What if we turn in the ship? Say we found it on an isolated planet, not terribly far, but close enough to have been seemingly ditched.
Here's the thing. There are a few different options as far as transponder codes go. It's very common practice for smugglers to run under several different... It's a complicated process and somewhat expensive to actually just get a new transponder code. We could conceivably attempt to modify our own transponder to where, with a lot of finesse and a significant risk of failure, Corey and I could have the Nasari project or broadcast a different identity to anybody who's scanning for transponders. Alternatively, while no less illegal, you can conceal your transponder code where what you are broadcasting comes out as a system error on anybody doing the scanning. And most likely they would simply assume that they're...
Yeah, I'd rather project a different transponder than...
Projecting a different one is a lot more difficult and a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Whereas making it so they assume that their scanner is simply temporarily malfunctioning or has a programming glitch and needs a software update or something of that sort is a lot simpler, although it carries more or less the same penalty of illegality.
Yeah. I will leave that up to you and Corey.
And Rerun, you would know a lot of, even not necessarily legitimate, but more established places will err on the side of not letting you in those instances.
Yes, no, he would definitely make sure that that Praz knows with a masked transponder code, you're pretty much putting a beacon on yourself, and it's mostly just hey, we're obviously doing something illegal that is definitely going to get noticed, so let's just make sure they don't know who it was that did it.
Yeah.
It's not if we have a masked transponder code, we're not going to be able to berth pretty much anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll figure out a way to scrape up the credits. First time I visited Crossroads, so much squandered. Just kidding. It was all worth it. Everything I bought.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna have to keep an eye out for ships chasing us.
Yep. And Aaron, if you want the exact rules for how Edge of the Empire does transponder code shit,
I've looked at it before. Do you have a page number?
Technically the actual mechanics are in the fly casual
That's why I couldn't find it this morning.
Yeah, it's not in the core book, but yeah, it's in the Fly Casual and on page 75, which I
Okay,
can get to you
thanks.
if you need.
I've got that one.
Okay.
And after the conversation with, is Sai still nearby?
Yeah, I'm just in my room.
Yeah. Then if you, I thought you might still be near. The thing.
Well, my room is just
Oh yeah,
north
just
of-
down the hall.
So I would be like right there. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he'll pop into your room and be like, just letting everybody know, probably got an Imperial bounty on the ship. Brainstorm an idea. We think we got an idea how to fix it, but it's going to be expensive.
We could just steal a new ship.
Yeah, we could.
Put so much money into this one.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Never put money into something you're not afraid to burn later.
I didn't expect to burn it so soon.
Well, I mean, we
I
can
would-
always just
and
wait and
Siolo's.
see.
Sorry, go ahead.
We can always just wait and see what happens from it. I mean, is it a big enough bounty to really
It
warden?
will attract.
I mean,
A
I'm
few.
all up for having the fun that an Imperial bounty is going to bring. I mean, lots of folk are going to be coming after us. They're going to have lots of credits of their own. We kill them, take their stuff, maybe take their ships. That'll be
Probably
lots
not.
of fun. But
Is there
at the
not a way
same
we
time,
could say?
it's also a bit of a hassle.
Is there not a way that we could say we bought this ship on the cheap
I mean,
from a crew?
yes,
We
you
would
could
have to fabricate records.
You could
but-
absolutely lie about buying the ship. That seems like a lot of hassle, and there's a lot of complications there.
and they'd still take the ship.
Yeah,
That's
typically,
similar to Praz's notion of we could
Fine.
turn in the ship for the bounty. They likely vet you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Typically, you see, when you're trying to lie to someone, adding extra steps that are easily verifiable, like has the ship been sold recently, just makes it harder and not really worth your time.
Speaking of lying, Siolo, let's take a walk.
You don't have feet. You can't.
I'm fine right here.
All right.
I
would
walk
like
away.
to apologize. I know that you came and did your absolute best to help, and I really appreciate the amount of effort that you put forward. I should have mentioned, knowing your many and varied talents, and I know that you are very good at reading situations and trying to perform the most effective strategy at any given moment. I should have mentioned previously that deception was probably off the table, because I know that is one of your many very keen blades in your toolbox.
Yeah, I just assumed.
But unfortunately, by the actions that I had already taken, kind of eliminated that as an effective tactic, and I should have let you know about that beforehand. And for that, I am sorry.
It's fine. I made an assumption. She mentioned it was a favor, so I assumed it could easily be overwritten. I mean,
Which
didn't-
in
I
a lot
didn't
of
think-
situations probably very easily could have
I
been.
didn't think there. He didn't seem to send a loyal lackey, so I just assumed the favor could be bought.
Oh yes, no, that is absolutely understandable that you came to that assumption. And once again, I apologize. I really appreciate the effort that you went through to try and protect Powder and the rest of us through that whole thing.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
I might have
please do.
missed something. From what I've gathered, Powder went after the individual with some scissors and cut some hair. Is the best I can gather.
Yes.
Is there anything more? She made it seem like Powder violently attacked him.
I mean, having an unfamiliar droid lunge at you with a sharp object is usually enough to freak out anybody, particularly if that individual is a wealthy, eccentric person with an already paranoid streak.
But wasn't she kidnapped at the bar? Did that not follow that?
Mm,
Could
You
you
guys
not?
haven't told Sayolo the details of this situation because Corey was trying to keep it private.
Yes, because it's medical. It's doctor-patient confidentiality.
As I remember, she was
Um,
kidnapped, violently attacked. It makes complete sense that even under duress, that
Oh, different bar, different day.
I see.
Yes, sorry. No, this
The
was
biological sample was taken
right.
before.
Biological sample was taken at the sports bar, not at the mechanic shop bar.
I see.
Yes. But yes,
Yep.
but then she was definitely kidnapped at the next bar that she visited. Powder, you seem to have a remarkable proclivity for getting into adventurous and high-tension situations in bars.
Yes.
Maybe this is why they don't serve droids in a lot of bars.
Well, Powder,
Droids are too rowdy.
Powder, I apologize if I made the situation worse. My goal was just simply to cut it short and save you more hassle of having to possibly go through another situation like that. So I apologize.
Apology accepted. I thank you for trying to help.
If y'all need me, I'll just be in here reading. Inside, just kind of very, 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 it's not like a depression. It's like a disheveled, like,
Dejected?
yeah, like, well, I just fucked up again. So,
Aww.
and he just lays there and reads.
Oh, sigh. We're
I'm
gonna
an
get
asshole.
in a good situation eventually.
So, on that note, I think that's where we're going to end for the night.
All right. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.